All right, so now we're back here with vulnerability file upload vulnerabilities, right? There's a lot of vulnerabilities like right there, as I said. So what we can do with this is we can upload a file, such as a PHP file, and we can see maybe if it calls for that PHP file, right, or something like that. We can try to upload different files to see if it automatically runs it. Now we do already know that PHP is not a system. We know that because we found index.php within our file inclusion, I believe it was, or when we did our PWD on our command injection. However, if we want to see, we could just always just try to just put in index.php and see, does this actually exist? Right? And it does. Okay, index.php does exist. If it did exist, we would get something back. Okay, so we can go back to upload. So we know that this is running PHP. So now we've already looked at our pentest monkey, right, with our shell.php here. So what we could do is we could try to upload this file. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to browse, and we will go into our documents here, or excuse me, our home, and we'll go into Metasploitable 2, and we have our shell.php file right there. We go ahead and try to upload this, and we can listen for a callback, hopefully. So that was running on port 1234, if I remember correctly. We'll see, do we get a callback, right? So let's go ahead and upload that. And it says that our file is now uploaded to hackable uploads shell.php. Successfully uploaded, right? It goes back to directories. So it looks like maybe it went to maybe vulnerabilities, hackable upload maybe. Let's try that. Hackable uploads shell.php. We try that like right there. That doesn't exist. Let's go ahead and get rid of vulnerabilities like right here and try it. And it is hanging, which whenever it's hanging, that means it's trying to do something, and we do get a call back. So we are www data, as you can see. Now, how do we figure out that something's vulnerable to something like this, right? Well, you have to test it. That's one of the biggest things, right? We do have to test it. Now, we could also utilize Burp Suite, right? We could try to set up different file types to it. Okay, we could keep changing the file type. Let's say it has a filter for PHP. Okay, we could try PHTML, PHP3, PHP4, PHP5. There's a lot of different ways we could try to work around that. So if they're just blacklisting things like, hey, you're not allowed to upload anything that's .php, right? We could try to work around that. Let's say it says, hey, you can only upload text files, .txt files. We could try to do something like shell.text.php, shell.php.text. We could try all these different things. So I just fired up Foxy Proxy, as you saw there, and we still have Burp Suite up and running. Let's go ahead and we'll go back to our proxy over here, and we will turn that off and on again. So now that's back on. Let's go ahead and we'll try to upload this file again, shell.php. We'll upload it. Should get caught by our proxy here, and it does. Okay, let's go ahead and send that over to, we'll send that to the repeater. And from here, what we could do is we could try to change the file name, right? So all we got to do is try to find that file name. There it is, like right there, shell.php. Okay, so let's try to change that to shell.html. And we can keep our listener up and running wherever else, but we should see that, hey, it did upload, so we can send that off, right? And let's see if this actually worked. We don't quite see anything just yet. But did look like it fully loaded. There we go. Okay, choose an image, hackable. Okay, it says file successfully uploaded, right? So we can also upload that PHTML file. Now, if we go to that same location with that PHTML file, right, we can go ahead and try to find it now. So let's go ahead and stop this guy over here. And something cool about Burp Suite, we can disable that, and we can continue to send information up using that repeater. So let's go ahead and try that hackable /uploads /shell.html. Or shell.phtml, right? Go ahead and try to upload that. I did not have my listener up and running. All right, now I have my listener up and running. We try that again. Try to go right back to there, shell.phtml. We can do that. And it is downloading the file. As you can see over there, it was downloading it. So it's not running it, it's downloading it. That's okay. Let's go ahead and try it again with PHP3, let's say, okay? So we'll go ahead, we'll upload shell.php3. We can send that across, see if that uploads or not. We can also search for it too. We say like SUCC, like successful. Okay, cool. And that was uploaded. So let's go ahead and try to go to shell.php3 now. Shell.php3. We can enter there. And that just downloaded also. So it's not running those different PHPs. It was just running the regular PHP, right? So we can also try to change that within our own thing over here. But as we go ahead and we upload it, it is uploading as that shell.php3 because that's what we're telling it to upload as over here for our file name, right? We can also go ahead and look at what it's actually uploading. So we can try and grab that shell.php. And as we can see, it is actually uploading the correct thing here, right? It's just not running it. But we do know that shell.php works. So there are many different ways to be able to upload a shell. Now, once again, we could always curl this, our shell.php file. So let's go ahead and do that again. So if we didn't want to open up the page or we couldn't or whatever else, right? We can't get to it or whatever else, we could always try to curl it with our, that like right there, php3, and then we'll put in our data, right? Our security equals low, and our php sys equals, we'll go ahead and we'll take a look like real quick. I don't remember. Go ahead and grab that. Right, so we have that like right there. We have our listener up and running. We curl it, and then we get a callback again. So we can always curl that file too. So for any reason we need to do that, we can. We can also try to just find the file, right? Because we have that local file inclusion. Now let's say we can't get to this area though. Let's say we're not allowed to get to that area or whatever else. All right, we have our local file inclusion, and www data may be able to. So we go to our file inclusion, and we can go to that page, right? We can say, hey, where was that Hackables page at? We can try to find it. We can do our var www html dvwa. We can just try to find this like right here. Let's go ahead and start up our listener again. And we need to kind of start thinking about how do they break down the page itself, right? So we can do a // like that all the way back, right? And we're going to do a var www html. And we don't know if it was HTML versus www. All right, we can try that. First, okay, nope, that one didn't work. Let's try it with just like that. Okay, we're getting something. And it looks like we got a callback again. Awesome. All right. Now, what if we didn't know that hackable uploads area existed? That's another thing. Okay, we may not know that exists. We can use many different tools for that. We use GoBuster, DirBuster, DirB, FearOxBuster. Let's go ahead and we're going to run FearOxBuster. I like FearOxBuster because it's fast and it automatically does recursion, so a recursive lookup, so it'll continue to look at those different directories. And we could try to do this for TACU. We could try to do it for HTTP 172.18.0.2, right? DVWA. Okay. And then we can give it a word list of something like user share word list, or we'll use seclist discovery, wrap medium words.txt. Discovery web content. There we go. Web content wrap medium words.txt. Okay, we try something like that, but we may need to put in there that, hey, there's more stuff in here, but no, we don't actually. It's just say that, hey, you do actually need to log in. See this 302 link right here? Say, hey, that's going to redirect to login.php. All right, that's going to redirect you, right? So we could try to have this guy look for hackables. He may be able to find it. He may not, okay? If we knew that hackables existed, we could do a dvwa/hackable. And we can see if maybe it finds that uploads directory in there, right? And it does. We actually find an upload shell.php. We find it right there, actually. Okay, and it's saying that we can get to it. That's what it's saying. That's what that 200 is. It's saying, hey, you can actually get to this. So without even logging in, we can actually get to that directory. We can see that right here. And there we go. All right, so we're actually able to get to that directory and call for it without actually even logging in. So we were able to bypass many different things like right there, right? And we actually found users DVWA hackable. We found quite a few different things in here. We got some JPEG files here, things like that, right? But we're finding things that we didn't know existed before utilizing FearOxBuster. FearOxBuster is a great tool to continue looking deeper into web pages to see what else is on there, right? Setting up that word list and seeing, hey, does anything else exist on there? All right. Now let's go ahead and we're actually going to not do 2 lessons this time because the next one is going to be cross-site scripting, which is both reflected and stored. So we're going to go through those 2 at the same time, and we'll go ahead and we'll just leave file upload by itself. So looking back at what we learned like right now is that we can upload different files. We can intercept that upload and change those files within Burp Suite. So that's really useful if it's doing client-side validation, not server-side validation. Let's say it was asking for a text file, right? And you upload the text file, intercept it, and it's seen on the client side, it's validating that it's .txt, right? But on the server side, it's not. Well, once it leaves here and it gets intercepted by Burp Suite, we are now on the server side, according to the internet, according to that server we have now left the client. So we might be able to change that .text to .php, upload it, and then keep sending it across. And we were already validated that we were setting up a .text file, so it's not revalidating it, right? We just intercepted it. And we were able to change the information in there. Burp Suite's an extremely powerful tool. You can do brute force, and you do a whole bunch of other things on there with it. The community version does slow you down, so that's why we haven't really looked at too deeply yet. But Burp Suite is extremely powerful tool. I highly suggest you get used to how it works and what you can actually do with it. But being able to intercept those pages, send them off to the responder, and changing information as it goes across from the client to the server is going to greatly increase your chances to be able to create reverse shells, change information that you're sending across, and things like that. All right, so hopefully you all learned something with this one. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you all in the next lesson.